All right, so I came across this article on Mark Zuckerberg a few months back, which I felt was, stupid, and I'm bringing this up today because today, Meta, or formerly known as Facebook, announced their quarterly earnings, and they were very good. The stock is up 5% in after markets trading, and the company is worth $1.3 trillion. And then you have this Yahoo up here saying that Mark Zuckerberg's aggressive emails and lack of emotional intelligence isn't there for him to build a business. Now, these psychologists and these people, I'm actually really, really getting concerned about what's happening in our society, where people are being discouraged to perform. They're being discouraged to strive for excellence. They're being discouraged to work hard. Oh my God, don't work 12 hours a day because they'll take a toll on you. Okay, if that's the case, then don't be putting these kind of ideas in the minds of people that it's not possible. Because let me tell you something, all the successful entrepreneurs have worked day and night to build the businesses that you benefit from right now. Not necessarily Facebook. I'm not a big fan of Facebook. I don't even check my account for weeks. But think about the device you have in your hand. Most likely it's a Samsung, an Apple, or some other model where some entrepreneur worked day and night to build that phone and get it into your hand at a reasonable price so that they can make a profit for themselves and their investors. They would not have been able to do that, if they were all nicey nice. And I think what we've started to see in the culture, and this is also as a part of this woke movement from the left, where people are saying, and you can't criticize people, you cannot call something bad for what it is, okay? And there is good and evil. If you kill people, that is evil, that is bad. Whatever excuse you want to make up, okay? If you're not letting children be children, that's bad, and you have to call it out. And unfortunately, we've fallen into this appeasement policy where we just, no matter what somebody wants to do or say, it's fine, don't hurt their feelings. People don't work hard, don't be direct. One of the things that a lot of successful people, I've had the opportunity to meet billionaires, many millionaires. I work with a lot of millionaires. And I think I work with a billionaire, although he hasn't disclosed his actual net worth to me. But these people are very direct. They're not nice, but they are kind in most cases. You'll have a few a-holes, and I choose not to work with them. But most of these people are just getting things done, which many of us are not able to. All right? So be really, really cautious and careful when you come across these kind of stupid headlines. And call stupidity for what it is. If somebody asks you a stupid question, say this is a stupid question because you should know better. Okay? If somebody comes to me and tells me that 2 plus 2 does not equal 4, I'll tell them, okay, fine. Get lost, because I don't need that kind of thinking around. There's time for critical thinking, there's time to be able to think outside of the box, but there's certain physics and laws that need to be kept in check for society and businesses to thrive, right? And this is where I think we have to be careful, and I'm coming back on social media to be able to start engaging, because I'm coming across too many entrepreneurs that want to take weekends off, they want to work 9 to 5, well, that's fine if you want to do that, But don't be an entrepreneur then. Don't call yourself an entrepreneur, because you are not going to make it. Business is tough. 80% of startups will fail. Even 80% of startups that raise funding from investors at a seed stage will fail to make it to Series A funding. All right? So what that tells me is that the odds are already against you. And if you are not willing to give it what it takes, then it's not going to work. And there's quite a few people that, I think, our society has just become so self-conscious, and it's been, we've become so sensitive that, it's a bad word to say that I'm obsessed. I want to, and there's a great book that I read. If you haven't read, do so. It's by Grant Cardone, called "Be Obsessed or Be Average." Okay. Now, if you choose to be average, great, be average. But the people that are trying and striving to create extraordinary things, achieve extraordinary outcomes for themselves and their families, and are working 12, 14-hour days, don't discourage them. Support them. And I know 12, 14-hour days aren't sustainable, but if you're 20-something, they are definitely sustainable. I used to be able to work a lot longer hours when I was in my 20s than I do now when I'm in my 40s. And I still work almost 7 days a week. I take one day out of the week, usually a Saturday or a Sunday, to do a half day. But otherwise, I'm up in the office 7, 8 and working pretty much till 9, 10, with gaps in between for family, right? But at the end of the day, I'm doing 10, 12 hours. If I was younger, I would be doing 12, 16 hours. If I was not married, I'd be doing 12, 16 hours. And the people that are young, unmarried, they have a competitive advantage over me if they want to not follow this stupid advice of not being direct and not being striving for excellence. All right, so that's kind of my rant for the day, and I hope that was valuable to you. Love to get your feedback and insights, and follow and subscribe, as I'm going to start talking more about the technology sector and how we can become extraordinary entrepreneurs and find other extraordinary people and entrepreneurs and companies that are creating amazing things that are going to create a lot of value. And when you create a lot of value, you create a lot of wealth. Okay, there's going to be opportunities in this AI era to create extraordinary amount of money. McKinsey & Company estimates that by 2030 we will have $17 trillion per year of additional economic output thanks to AI. What are you going to do about that, and how are you going to be able to be a part of that success, rather than sitting on the sidelines, moaning, complaining, and criticizing people that are achieving extraordinary things?